Welcome back. Rajan Joshi's here. Rajan, how are you, sir?
Good, thank you.
We're going to talk criminal law, of course, in a moment, but you brought a good friend with you today.
Yes, this is Judge Vincent Chu. Excellent judge in Orange County. Was appointed by the governor. I knew him as a U.S. prosecutor. He was very fair, tough. But someone who really knows the law. He's also got former prosecutor experience in state court, and just an excellent judge, very well liked, very well respected, and really runs an efficient courtroom.
Orange County Circuit Court, of course, Judge. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Rajan's exactly right, and the lawyers in my firm always will say how fair you are, and that what else can you ask for in a judge other than being fair? But you're running for re-election right now. What's going on? How can we help?
Well, I think really it's about getting the word out.
Yeah.
I think the lawyers generally have a pretty good idea who the good judges are.
No question.
But it's I think the biggest thing is getting that word out to to the folks out there who don't. Who aren't living in that universe, and frankly, who probably look at a ballot and don't necessarily know what what to do or who to pick in these things.
Well, let's talk about courtroom decorum a little bit with both of you. You have clients that you go to court with all the time, Rajan, of course, and Judge, you see people in front of you all the time. What do you tell your clients, and what really resonates with you, Judge, when you see people show up?
Well, with me, I tell my clients, dress as as professionally as they can, be on their best behavior.
Yeah.
This is a time, I deal with a lot of criminal clients, and no matter what, you're going into a courtroom, and that's a place of sanctity, and you're in front of a judge, somebody who earned that position, and it's very important to show respect, not only for the clients, but for myself as well. I don't address the judge as judge, I address them as Your Honor. I show that respect. They're there for a reason, and they deserve that respect from the attorneys, from the participants, from the litigants, from the witnesses.
And there have been times where you've been disappointed in a ruling that you've gotten in front of a judge, and you're not gonna act like you're all freaked out and mad. Of course, you don't do that. Is that not right?
That is exactly correct. When a judge rules against you, you got to accept it and just move on. There's other remedies you can do. But you do not ever argue with the judge after they've made their ruling. You respect them, and you do what's best for your client, and also keeping the decorum in the courtroom.
Yeah, exactly. Judge, you must have seen people freak out in court. What are some of the things you've seen?
Well, I mean, and to Rajan's point, it's not necessarily just about showing sort of deference to the judge. It's more deference to the process, to the how solemn that moment is. I mean, the stuff I've seen is
story time.
Well, I was in family for a couple of years.
Oh wow!
I remember seeing one person, and she came to her divorce proceeding by Zoom, and really, because so much happened over Zoom, all bets are off. Yeah. She was wearing what I would guess that she thought was her most flattering piece of lingerie.
Oh yeah.
To do the divorce proceeding. But I mean, you see people, they lose their cool, but I at the same time, at least for me, I get it. When you're talking about the things that are most important to people,
sure.
I get it. When your child custody hearing doesn't go your way, when a jury verdict isn't what you hoped it would be, or I would say, generally speaking, I would tell people, number one, first thing I would always say is listen to your lawyers. You pay them good money, so you should listen to them.
Right.
But number two, you put your best foot forward, but at the same time, I always tell people that you want to be yourself. And I always do believe that sort of authenticity within the bounds of sort of accepted norms of behavior is going to win the day more often than it doesn't.
Yeah, and when it comes to lawyering, Rajan, what I've seen about you and your firm and the lawyers that work there, it's preparation. And you go to court prepared. You're not scurrying around right before the hearing trying to figure out your case, which unfortunately some lawyers do, and I think that can make all the difference, especially in a criminal matter. When your client is facing jail time or prison time, I think that you owe it to them as a lawyer to be prepared, and that's something I know you do.
Thank you. Preparation is the most important thing. When a lawyer goes into court prepared, they make the judge's job easier.
Sure.
You know, you have the research done, you have the arguments ready, and you can present your side to the judge, and he can make, you know, a fair and just ruling based on how much you prepare. And you've got a person's life or freedom on the line, and it is imperative for a lawyer to go in there, be prepared, put in the extra hours, the late nights, whatever it takes to make sure you put the best presentation on in front of the judge when you go in front of him and for your client.
And not just criminal law, civil law, of course, as well. But the reason why we send you our criminal cases is because I've seen the prep that goes into it, and a lot of it, the care that goes into your cases. And if you've been charged with a crime, you have to call Rajan, please. You do not want to go through this battle alone. You don't want to do it. We have life, liberty on the line for you. That's why Rajan is standing by right now at 321-282-1055. Now, Judge, when you're on the bench, you must recognize some lawyers are more prepared than others.
Well, yes, and that's that's sort of the nature of the game. And I will say that I think in the practice of law, preparation trumps talent every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day. I think the annals of history are probably littered with talented but mediocre lawyers. I know of very few well-prepared lawyers who have not done well for themselves.
Right. How difficult, I've always been fascinated by this when it comes to judges, and you're on the circuit bench, which is it's a powerful position, but you must be making very difficult decisions every single day. How quickly do you find yourself making that decision, and how difficult is that?
It's difficult in the sense of you feel the weight of people's hopes, in those decisions. At the same time, I think most good judges aren't making those decisions on from the hip. You might only see the 15 minutes of argument, but for me, I've prepped for some significant amount of time before that hearing. I've got some idea going in what the issues are, what the questions I have to ask, and what I need answered to make that ruling. So I mean, in that sense, is that we're not just going in and hearing what everybody has to say and then being like, you win,
right?
And so it's hard, but it's again, it's the same as lawyers. It's just a matter of the amount of preparation you put into it.
Got it. And for both of you, we've been through a pandemic the last a little more than a couple of years now. How has the pandemic affected the court system for you, Rajan?
It slowed it down, quite a bit, but it's picking up right now, and it's the courts are moving very efficiently. The judges are doing a great job at getting the cases moved. I've had several trials since the courts have opened up, and it's nice to be back in the courtroom. It's nice to be back, in there fighting and stuff. And one thing I can go just saying about following up from Judge Chu is, I think one of the most important things a lawyer needs to know going into the courtroom is know the judge. Sure. It is so important when you go in, because different judges have different procedures, different rules, and some you may have to take and walk by the hand through each and every stage. Other judges want you to get to the point, keep it short, and you got to know that. You can't go into one courtroom, expecting, the same type of strategy to work with another judge. So knowing the judge is probably one of the most important things as a lawyer.
What are you seeing, Judge?
Well, I mean, I think necessity is the mother of innovation, and what we've seen is that when we had to transfer over to doing remote hearings, we've unlocked sort of this ability to do so much more. So now a lot of our hearings we do remotely, even as the pandemic gets into different phases, and probably beyond after that's done, because it increases access to justice for people. Zoom hearings mean you don't have to find childcare for your kids. You don't have to find a transportation to the courtroom, to the courthouse. So, I mean, I think in that sense, it's really lowered I think, the walls of the courthouse for people.
So you see it continuing as we go forward, Zoom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what do you think, Rajan? Is it different in criminal law versus civil law?
No, it's very efficient.
Okay.
It's very efficient. Whereas now I can take a deposition of someone in another state instead of flying over there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like taking a little vacation, but you know,
Well, Friday or Monday
yes,
demos are the best.
exactly.
Right.
And also I can show up in multiple courtrooms, by noon,
Right.
and appear before other judges. Before it was stressful. I got to
Yeah.
be in this county, that county. So it's so much more efficient.
Got it. Rajan Joshi, keep up the good work,
Thank
buddy.
you.
We know how to find you. And again, if you've been charged with a crime, you know what to do. And do it right now. 321-282-1055. Judge Chu, great to have you here. Now, let's say we want to, in this camera right here, we want to help. How do we help? Is there a website, Facebook? Where do we go?
Sure, you can go to my website, www.keepjudgechu.com. And the biggest way to help is to come out on or before August 23rd and vote.
That's right. We support Judge Chu as well. Here's what we will do. Last break. When we return, it's What Did We Learn? Michaela and I are here at Pontoon Landing Resort and Marina, the best kept secret in all of Central Florida. Would you not agree?
Oh, it is.
Chris is here, the general manager. This is Old Florida here. This is a secret. This place is beautiful. Great rooms, great suites. If you want to spend the weekend, spend a week here. But also a lot of great things to do here during the week, Chris. What all do you offer?
So we have river tours. We have pontoon boat rentals, brand new pontoons. We have, you stay in the
Beautiful
rooms.
place. What about the river tour? I mean, we have manatees literally right outside the boat here. You do river tours, right?
Yeah, we do 2 of those, 10 and 1.
Yeah.
Wednesday through Sunday. And it's a tour all the way around Pontoon Island, go by Blue Springs.
This is Old Florida at its finest. Door to door for me, from my house, 45 minutes. I think downtown Orlando, an hour.
Yes.
Yet you feel like you're in a totally different world. How do you describe this setting?
A place like no other. This is so unique, and there's not very many places like this anymore.
You totally upgraded the rooms and suites. They're beautiful, stunning, in fact, very comfortable. How do you describe the rooms and suites here?
They've gotten a lot of love in the last year, and it's wonderful. And we're continuing to make that investment in Pontoon to continue to keep it as a place like no other.
And you can rent this boat here. The boats are brand new, but think about the rooms and suites too. They're all so unique. This is not a cookie cutter type place to stay.
No, it was designed as a fish camp, and it, all the rooms are very unique. So it's not like a big hotel where you have a bunch of these cookie cutter rooms. Yeah, they're all unique.
The Dockside Deli is awesome. We're building a tiki bar. We have beer. This place is unbelievable. I'm so impressed with what you have done. Chris, congratulations on what you guys are doing here and continue to do. And I've got to tell you, if you have not been out to this area, you're making a mistake. Pontoon Landing Resort and Marina, 45 minutes from my house, not more than an hour from yours. Come out and check it out.
Managing your investment property is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Sign up at GoRent123.com. 2. Let Greater Orlando Realty handle everything for you when it comes to managing your property. From qualifying tenants to collecting rent, processing maintenance requests, and everything in between. 3. Sit back, relax, and count all that money you're making. Earning passive income on your property is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Greater Orlando Realty. Visit GoRent123.com today.
Wrapping up Behind the Law here with What Did We Learn? Michaela, I know this is going to be fashion-centric right now. Okay.
So don't wear your lingerie if you're going to Zoom.
I thought we learned that at birth, or we knew that
out
of the womb.
I think some people need to hear that. You know?
Absolutely. Courtroom decorum is very, very important. If you're in court and you don't like the decision, don't freak out. I also learned that Judge Chu, but I knew this before, is the man for us when it comes to Orange County Circuit Judge. Rajan Joshi never ceases to amaze me. Not only his suits, but his ability to defend the people of Central Florida. I love Rajan Joshi. If you've been charged with a crime, you need to call him. I learned that we love you too. Everybody loves you. All right. Thank you for being here. As always, great job. Most importantly, thank you for joining us this weekend. We'll see you again next Saturday for Behind the Law. Here with Rajan Joshi. He is the founder of the Joshi Law Firm, our go-to for all things criminal defense, the place that literally we refer our criminal cases to. What I love about your firm is there is no case too small, but more importantly, maybe no case too large for you.
Yeah, thank you, first off, for having us. Yeah, our firm is equipped to hire any type of criminal defense case, whether it's federal, state, murder, racketeering, a DUI, or simple petty theft. You know, we have the infrastructure and the manpower to handle it.
Free consults, which is always a great thing if someone's charged with a crime, but also maybe you should call before you are even charged. If the cops are calling you, should you talk?
Absolutely not speak to the police officers. The most important thing is if you're suspecting the crime, is call an attorney. A lot of times we can quash it and avoid people from going through the hardship of an arrest and criminal charges.
Keep up the great work.
Thank
if you are charged with a crime or the police are calling you, do yourself a favor, call the Joshi Law Firm today. One of the most important decisions you're ever going to make.